Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. So it's funny. So yesterday, right after our live, my wife messages me and she's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." She's like, "You couldn't breathe." I was like, I think I know what it was. And she's like, "What do you think it was?" I was like, on my way into work, I went ahead and got 4 wake up wraps from Dunkin' Donuts, the sausage ones, and I ate them like I was like it was sport. And she's like, "Well, duh, you probably weren't able to breathe." I was like, "Ha, I wasn't." So we were able to figure that out a little bit. So super cool. What I want to do today, our email this morning was very short. And it's really funny because, again, I wake up at 5 a.m. every single morning and I spend the first 2 hours kind of getting my day together, but that includes crafting the email. And about an hour of that is actually crafting the email. Hey, Mike. Actually, Mike, I made the email today with you in mind, or a lot of people, but you've been part of that inspiration process. But when I'm spending like an hour doing the email in the morning, it really is just fully thought. Like, where are we exactly this second? What can help exactly this second? What can we do exactly this second going forward? Because the email's every day, right? So it's not, oh, okay, guys, we're doing this week, and no. What happens today? And enough people had noticed that in the bottom of our email, it says, maybe something big for November. And I've always been asked, like, Anthony, what is this? And I guess it's Anthony just having a little bit of fun, right? Like, let me keep something for like a big surprise, and not something as in I chose to keep it to myself, but I've been developing it. And every day while I'm developing it, it kind of evolves. So the big idea was, can RHINO actually take the next step? Can RHINO actually start identifying territory? Can RHINO start effectively having regional representatives, regional vice presidents? And for any other company, that's kind of like a really big question. And to do something like that, one would need to start outsourcing and headhunting, and what area are we going for? How do we find the person in that area? Where can we find someone that we can trust in that area? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But that's not RHINO. RHINO's been global, right? Like, and not to berate the point and not to celebrate how we like cold emailed, half of our audience, but to cold email is only unpleasant to 99% of the people. The 1% that actually is receptive to that email is happy that you reach them. Well, when you go ahead and take the 1%, and well, that makes up RHINO, right? Everyone in RHINO is happy to be touched by RHINO and is happy to be in RHINO. So therefore, our audience, I keep saying our audience, like us, our RHINOs, we have, I believe, 189 different countries, I think, like our last count, and that was about a year ago. When we moved everything over to Salesforce, I was able to see the .FRs and the .ITs and stuff like that. So why can't, like, we could do that. So I was thinking, bringing up the Slack idea yesterday, because I just want to kind of say it out loud. But what if we had a Slack channel and we invited the 100 vice presidents, the regional vice presidents that we identify, and we all have a home together? We have that Slack channel where it's completely organized, because every morning I'm with my team, I write my message, and everyone knows what we're doing. But what if in that Slack channel, all right, everyone, I need you around at 11 a.m. or, hey, everyone, we need some ideas for this, this, and this. Hey, everyone, who has success with this? Hey, everyone, blah, blah, blah. Because RHINO is not an audience of those that know nothing, right? Like every single person that's a part of RHINO is really like 40 or 50 and older, has a lifetime of experience, has a lifetime of resume, and is simply kind of brought together by how unfair things have gotten. because it is a certain demographic that is getting hurt the most. And that is if you're not technically sound in the immediate innovation of today, you're kind of being automated into yesterday. And that's just kind of the way it is. And, you know, traditions and relationships and values are kind of going by the wayside. There is a concerted effort to kind of blur the lines so that everyone doesn't really have a tribe of their own anymore, in which case people are far easier to control if they're all acting by themselves. It's when they're acting in concert, when they're united, that you can't control them. So there is some conspiracy theorist. I always say that I don't believe anyone is smart enough to do this stuff. Like, oh, there's this big government cabal that's doing blah, blah, blah. And I've seen our government. They're really probably the least qualified people ever. And of course you could say, well, there's someone behind them. And I believe that, right? So, but to an extent, I think life has so many variables, you could never actually say this is going to happen a year from now, unless you're willing to spend every second of every day along that journey. But I digress. The point is, I want that. I think that's the next step for RHINO. But like any next step, you cannot go ahead and, regardless of how much someone loves you, assume that they're going to volunteer their labor. It just doesn't work like that. And it could work like that for a certain period of time. In fact, everyone from RHINO at least one point has said to me, Anthony, what do you need? Anything you need to go ahead and build RHINO, I'm there. And I've really never taken anyone up on that offer. And it's not because I didn't believe that you could fulfill that offer, but it's because I believed, I don't know what RHINO needs. Like, RHINO needs to mature. And now we're at the point where we're mature enough to know what our next steps are. So we're there. But also, I wasn't going to ever go ahead and accept anything unless I had something to reciprocate back. And, you know, a lot of times people like just doing good favors. I get that. I'm not comfortable accepting favors, but I'll give a favor to anyone. And that's kind of like a nature nurture thing, right? So that's, you know, I'll sit with my therapist and talk about that one day. The point of the story is everyone does need to be compensated. Now, last night, there was a RHINO that sold, I believe, 500 coin and had taken the coin from 165 to 151, something like that. And we took note. And like we said, that we've always committed to everyone at RHINO, our report card is that coin price. The money that comes in is used to buy that coin. Therefore, when that 500 got sold, boop, 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 and it's at a new high as of today. It had got up to 170 before, but in terms of an opening high, it's like 168.5. And that's a couple of things. One, everyone should have confidence in the market. You could sell, get your money, and guess what? It'll go right back up. But two, to go ahead and see that coin go up every day, there's a certain amount, and I was speaking to one of our RHINOs yesterday, Anthony, I just have never been a part of something where everything that they said, it happens. Like when you say and commit to something, you do it. And I guess I don't know what else to do, right? That's what we're going to do. I'm accountable to you. Anyone could say, oh, Anthony's this, he's leader of RHINO. No, I'm the most accountable person because RHINO only exists because of you. So if I go ahead and I all of a sudden like let fame go to my head and run around and our RHINOs are like, yeah, that's it. See you later, buddy. Then what is it, right? So I, every second of every day, have to be accountable to RHINO, which is why I'm on live every morning. Like everyone needs, one of our RHINOs goes, hey, I attend the lives just to see your mental state because you're doing so much. We need to make sure you're not losing it. So I appreciate the lives as like an armchair therapist. And I was like, oh, that's super cool. Hi, how are you? But I want to compensate in coin because it is money. Like you could sell it for money. And because our commitment is that it'll always go higher, well, it's money. But in compensating for coin, I want to do it on a weekly basis. I want everyone to receive like a salary. It'll go to your wallet. I'm thinking we'll start off at 25 coin, which comes out to $50 US a week. And then on top of that, we'll do a profit share. So we know how much is coming in the last 7 days, right? And 7 days is a week. We get paid every week. Cool. So if the last 7 days, say 10,000 came in, let's find a percentage, maybe 1%, maybe 10%, whatever the number is. and now go to the profit sharing. Now, of course, it's not really profit, right? Like, it's not like that money is ours because we sold something and now we can go put it in our bank. No, that's going to the coin. But, well, not but, and using that as a compensation for team members that are actively increasing the coin by increasing the growth and membership equals a higher coin. So it's different, right? If I took that 10% and put it into Anthony's pocket and Anthony was driving a Ferrari, that's not okay. If Anthony takes that 10% and reinvests it into RHINO via the community by going global and having representatives and regional directors all over the globe, oh my God. Now, what's really cool about this, and it's 10:11, so I'll get off in like a minute or two, we have the people. And every single person here has amplifier or some kind of marketing tool that has led them to RHINO. Because again, well, we used to work with Rick, we used to work with a bunch of different people, and a bunch of different people got to meet RHINO through those people. Well, those people, Rick and whomever, were selling digital marketing products. So it is fair to say that a lot of our audience that has known me for more than a year is quite savvy in digital marketing. It's also fair to say that because everyone's global, we have a global savvy digital marketing base that all is looking to help RHINO. Well, I gotta tell you something, and it's something that I'm not allowed to say out loud. I'm gonna say it once today. I will never write it down because like, you're not allowed to. We're building a new economy with a new currency. We're doing it in a Web3 space. That's really what it is. If you think about what an economy is, it's all confidence. I believe in these people. We're all going to commerce together. We're all going to trade this currency together. We're all going to agree on certain rules and investments, and we're going to grow larger and larger. Therefore, anything I do today is going to be well worth the investment because I'm going to know there's going to be a return on the investments going forward, as long as I know that where I am is stable and building. So, when people say, Ant, you're going to bring the coin to 100 and oh my God, they celebrate it like that's the goal. I don't want to say step one, because if you remember, the coin was 1 cent. It's now $1.68. Like, that's real. The coin was 1 cent in December 2021. Today it's $1.68 and 1.6855. And somebody went ahead and cashed out 500 coin last night at $1.60. That person actually received about $800. And the coin is now higher since that transaction. That's real. So anyone would say, okay, Ant, you made 168 times your money. Like, people in a year, that's pretty good. Yeah, that was step one. Step two is what we're doing now. I can promise you in a year or two from now, when we have 200, 300, 400 different reps across the globe, all in a shared Slack channel, and our memberships are growing 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. The point is, the road that's in front of us it's already there. Like, when I'm sharing this idea with you, we have the people, they're in the community. If you look in the chat, I see a whole bunch of people raising their hands. We have the infrastructure, it's built out. We have the coin, we have the recurrings. All of this stuff is already done. It's not like we're talking pie in the sky. This is all done. The next thing is the email we're going to send tomorrow is going to lay it out. Because this weekend's promo, which will be Thursday to Sunday, we do want to go ahead and support Share RHINO. We have a good idea of at least the majority of those that we're going to invite to these positions. Now, mind you, Slack is not free. Like, there's a lot of overhead in onboarding all of this, onboarding all of RHINO. And there's a salary that we're going to have to commit to, right? Like, the investment is coming from RHINO to RHINO because we're all RHINO. So we have a good idea of those that have been with us and those that we trust really, really strongly. We want to also go ahead and allow this weekend to act as a competition where people could win those positions. So this weekend, I don't know how we're going to do it yet. I'm still thinking it. Maybe the top 20 automatically have those positions, right? Because they've firmly shown that they want it and they firmly show that they can, right? Like, so that's a good idea. We want 100 different countries. 100 different countries and or states, right? Can you imagine that by next week, RHINO has a vice president, a regional vice president of a country in 100 different countries? I mean, guys, that's where we're going. That's kind of cool. Oh, wow, my brother's on. He wrote host and panelist. Joe, you can write to everyone. His idea was top 20 buyers of coin. Hello. So I have 5 younger brothers. There's me, Christopher, Joseph, who just typed Michael, Nicholas, Vincent. So that's that. So Joe, super cool to see you. It was a question. Top 20 buyers of coin? Maybe. No, not top 20 buyers of coin. No, so the promotion we're doing for the weekend for regional reps. I don't know, Joe. See, Joey's becoming Joey again, which is totally great. But we try to keep these lives very short, and I have a really poor record of always going over. So I'm already over 6 minutes. So we really don't ever go back and forth too much. So Joe, just text me and we'll talk. But I love everyone. I'll see you tomorrow. Please make sure you check tomorrow's email. This weekend, we really, really want to do something quite special. And going forward, you know, this is, I always tell everyone like this, we're going to do it. And by the end of next week, when we have 100 different vice presidents in different countries, I don't know how well people define doing it, but I would say we're even closer. And guess what? That wouldn't even be the point that we even think about stopping. That's still the beginning. That's the beautiful part. We're still going. So I love everyone. I will see you in the email tomorrow. And Monday, we'll go ahead and invite the 100 to participate. And if they say yes, God willing, that'd be amazing. Bye.